shave, and a haircut. New bass.
Got the new bass here. Let's open it up. So I'll include some pictures. But my other Fodera is basically a mini MG, but it's not mini. It's headless MG, 33-inch scale. This one, I haven't really seen pictures of it coming together. But the short version is it's a full-on mini, a couple of different wood choices, and the main special thing about this is that we figured out a way to do what we're calling a travel neck. Basically, you'll be able to take the neck right off. Shouldn't be a bolt-on, but again, haven't really seen what came together in the end, so let's see. Should be something that I just loosened the strings and I slide it out. We were talking about like an I-beam construction. Let's see. Alright, fresh gig bag out of it. Nothing wrong with that. So we should be getting basically a walnut MG. Got a Japanese maple top I picked out. A couple other special appointments. And special body shape. Got a neat cutaway there. Couple other special things. I like having the fingerboard cut real short after that last fret. Looks like we got the radiusing and the distancing right on the ramp. I like that detail. They got a walnut, what I'm guessing is walnut, ebony, and then the final maple veneer on it. 4-band preamp. Got the D-tuner with the, not sure if that's real visible, but the hip shot double stop lever. So basically you got one stop and then another at the end of the travel. Little view of the control cavity there. Really liking how this came together. Little view of the neck profile there, and the big thing for me, that removable neck. So let's loosen the strings and see what happens. Well, that's pretty damn cool. That's what they ended up going with there. That's very neat. Got can't quite tell what the plate is in there, but some kind of metal. And looks like they've milled in some hooks for these screws to just set into. So I take it apart. This part's gonna fit into a carry-on bag. I'll do some pictures of packing this thing up a little later. This is gonna go into a separate bag, and it's all gonna pack down real small. Basically, so this thing I can actually take in a regular carry-on bag. I'm gonna do a little bit of work on this, make sure I got the setup the way I like, and get some pictures, packing it up, and do an audio demo. I'm excited. Hope you are too. Check out Fodera. Check out my other videos to see my other Fodera in action. That's it.
So here's a couple pictures showing what the idea is behind the bass. Why did this get put together? Why does it have a removable neck? What's the point? Short version is, even though I have that headless MG style bass that does fit into a guitar gig bag, occasionally I'm able to take that on a plane, no problem. Occasionally I can plan ahead and take it in a flight case and check it, no problem. But I want a bit more flexibility than that. So with the removable neck, I get a couple of really cool options. Fodera did include a lovely mono vertigo gig bag for me. That'll just be staying at home though. I'll be traveling with this cheap floppy bottom of the line nylon gator gig bag. You see that there. Reason behind having this bottom of the line cheap gig bag is when I put only the body of the bass inside, like you see here, I can fold the gig bag over, put it into this standard size carry-on suitcase, take that as a carry-on or check it, and it's in a suitcase, and that's pretty solid and protected. And then when I get where I'm going, I've still got a gig bag, even though I didn't have to travel with something gig bag shaped. As for the neck, you can see there's a tube just between the neck and the suitcase. If you search for document tube, document shipping tube, blueprint shipping tube, that kind of thing on Amazon, you'll come up with those. They don't have padding on the inside, so I got some 1/8 inch adhesive backed padding. I just lined the inside myself, the inside and the caps, of course. And then the neck goes into there quite nicely. You can see there's a little bit of a room for it to move laterally if I were shaking it around, but I'm not too worried about that, since the tube part I would literally be carrying with me even if I checked the suitcase half of things. So all that put together, I've got a suitcase that I can check or that I can take as a carry-on with nobody hassling me about it whatsoever, a document tube that I can take as a personal item. If I have some kind of reason to go a little different, I actually found a really neat little solution. Same basic idea. Neck goes in the document tube, body goes in the gig bag, and there's this like archery soft case, like for, you know, bow and arrow archery, that fits everything real nicely. So the tube goes into the part where somebody would be storing extra arrows, and the gig bag with the body in it goes on the inside, where you'd store, I guess, a bow that kind of collapses a little bit. So, a couple of different options. Very excited about it. Gonna get to some playing and talk through the bass. Before I start demoing the new bass, thought it'd be cool to go through some of the other basses I've got, just for comparison on the tones. And then also I realized I don't actually have anything recorded on these other ones anyways, though. I'd like to have it too. This is a 66 P bass. Fun story behind this one, actually. This was a hand-me-down from my dad. You'll notice a couple small things. I switched out the strap locks just for security's sake when playing. I got the originals still. The knobs, we never had the originals, so got some jazz bass knobs there instead of the proper P bass knobs. No idea where the originals could be. But this was either late 60s or maybe somewhere in the early 70s. I guess there was a repo guy that owed my dad some money. And so he said, all right, you know, let me give you this car and we'll call it even. My dad said, I don't know. He takes a look in the trunk, sees this. Again, late 60s, early 70s at the time. Says, I don't know. You're going to throw in that piece of junk too? Guy says, yeah, fine. We'll throw this in. We'll call it even. And now we got a bass in the family, 66P bass that has seen a lot of playing and a lot of love from whoever had it before, from my dad and from me. From it's actually the first proper bass that I started on. So let's play a little. Here's some sounds. Alright, so this is my first Fodera. It's a headless Matt Garrison model. Basically, obviously very inspired by the mini MG model that they put out. They posted a video of Matt Garrison playing it, I think in maybe like March or April of 2016, and that was one of those moments for me, kind of like when iPhones came out and tons of people were just, I never knew that was what I wanted, but that's the exact thing now that I see it. It's the same kind of thing. As soon as I saw it, I realized that's what I've been trying to go after. I was using some Woodentronics basses with a very Matt Garrison type of vibe to them. I had a 6-string that was headless, but I 6 strings don't really fit for how I like things to feel. And seeing this headless with a detuner on it is absolutely perfect. A couple of things about this bass. If you're familiar with Matt Garrison's style basses, it'll all be pretty similar stuff. But basically what's going on here is I've got a walnut body, alder heel block, ash neck, ebony fingerboard. It's a 33-inch scale. I've got the detuner on it. Same as on the new bass, it's one of those Hipshot double stop ones where you've got one stop. Oh, there you go. And then another at the end of the travel, and you can set the position for both of them. Custom spacing on the pickups, same as what the Matt Garrison model will be. You've got 26 mandolin-sized small frets. What else is going on with this one? I've got the fingerboard cut off real short, and they introduced a 4-band EQ. They might have had it on some other models as well, but that Matt Garrison Mini was the first time I was aware of seeing a Fodera with a 4-band EQ. I'd been using 4-band EQs before that, so it was a perfect transition. I'm in passive right now, so I'll just play a couple of tones. This is both pickups, tone rolled all the way back. All the way open. I'll go to just the front pickup here. Hit the back pickup, single coil. And usually where I'll end up setting this one is rolled just a little away from full back, so kind of like 75-25, I guess. Tone kind of in the middle, and this kind of strikes a happy medium between where I like the tone and where I was trying to take the tone based on what I was liking about all the Matt Garrison stuff. A little bit of extra thickness with the switching into dual coil mode, obviously. I started traveling with this one. Obviously fits into a guitar gig bag, so that helped a lot. And then I started running into some situations where I needed something even smaller, because I couldn't always count on being able to take this as a carry-on. Because even though it fit in a guitar gig bag, a lot of the airlines were getting to the point where you just couldn't fly with any guarantee that you were going to be able to take it where and how you wanted. So, takes me to the next bass. So this is kind of I mean, it says Indio. I have no idea who that is. Kind of a no-name beater, like kids-sized jazz bass, basically. I think it's 27 and a half, 28 and a quarter, something around there. Scale length. I forget where I found it even. It was online on some website that had a bunch of terrible stuff. And this isn't a good bass, but don't be fooled. Picked it up for, I think it was like $110. Put some tuners on it. New bridge, new pickups, got a ramp in there, got a special circuit for the electronics. It's basically just volume, and then instead of a continuous tone control, it's a rotary switch. You might be able to hear the positions on there. And basically it's just got different pairs of capacitors per pickup that are a little better suited, so that you're not getting overly dark on one pickup but serving the other well, or overly bright on one pickup serving the other well. And again, this one was at a time when I was just having a lot of trouble. If I was traveling somewhere for a while, I would just take the Fodera in a flight case, or if I knew I could guarantee, okay, I'm going to be with this airline, I know I can take it as a carry-on because I don't want to take the flight case, all fine. But it started getting to the point where I was getting bounced around a lot, had to travel short notice, going somewhere only a week or two at a time. And so this one fit really well because aside from, again, fitting in a guitar gig bag, if they told me, hey, sorry, you can't take that on the plane, okay, have it. If it shows up broken, I kind of can't be bothered that much. That said, I kind of like it. It's a fun bass. Sorry, we'll knock the gain there. Fun little thing to play. It's got a nice kind of, I don't know, like a bouncy feel on it. Part of why I ended up getting a 33-inch scaled headless on the Fodera. At the time, I hadn't really played anything shorter than a 33, and I was a little antsy about, oh gosh, 30 and 3/4 scale, is that too short? I don't really know. So this was a good one to mess around on and find that, actually, you know what, this is a lot of fun, really comfy. And that takes me to the new one. So that takes me to the new bass. Had that small jazz bass for a couple of traveling engagements, and it was fun and easy, but I was really missing having a high quality instrument to play out as well. So it was really getting me going on this idea of, you know, how small can you make it? Can you make it with the neck that comes off? Can you fit it in a regular carry-on bag so that there's no way anybody can ever hassle you and say, hey, you can't bring that on the plane? Yes, I can. It's in a carry-on bag. Fodera had already kind of been toying with some ideas for that when I called them and we started brainstorming about some different options and ideas for how to put it together. What would it actually be? Ultimately, it's a mini MG still. A couple special things about this one. Again, that double stop hip shot on there. I'll show that actually in operation in just a little bit. Still with the ebony fingerboard. We ended up doing maple neck and an all walnut body as a strength consideration because of how the neck joint works. We've got the fingerboard cut very short after that last fret. Gives me just a little bit of deeper real estate if I need to do some kind of slappy stuff. Something you can see here, I'll show it on the other side, it's a little clearer. You can see, compared to my other Fodera at least, and I assume it's comparable to most Foderas in general, the neck comes up quite high off the body. Normally I don't like basses that do that, but they've really put a lot of thought and just great execution into how everything else is proportioned to that. So the pickups, having the ramp at the right height really kind of saves the day on that one. And you can see on the neck joint, we've got quite a bit of built up real estate from the body right underneath the neck. On my other Fodera, it's really very nearly entirely uninhibited access all the way up. This one I asked them to deepen the cutaway a little bit. I can quite comfortably get to that 24th fret once I start getting to the 25th and the 26th, I can feel that I'm coming up against the those two obstacles of the cutaway and just my thumb placement on it. So if you don't mind coming over a little, it'll still work fine. If you're looking for something with uninhibited access, no matter what, you might ask if they can deepen the cutaway a little more, but I think if you were trying to get the removable neck thing going, that's going to be your block point that you just got to kind of deal with it anyway. What else have we got going on here? Oh, took the belly cut. I asked them to extend it basically as far up as they could go and kind of round this upper horn a little more. As you've seen with the other basses, or if you've seen my other videos, I've got this kind of like classical guitar type posture. I'm actually using a little footstool type of thing here, and that's part of having that knee cutaway at the bottom of the body. That's how I hold the instrument now. So let's get a couple of sounds. I've got it kind of set to that Matt Garrison tone. Still in passive, but between the pickup blend and the tone setting, and both of them in dual coil, kind of a basic Matt Garrison vibe. And then for that double stop, I've got the first one set for drop D. And then the next one down to B. I think that's most of what I have to say about this instrument. Really awesome. Really looking forward to getting real familiar with this one. And of course traveling with it as well. Going to be very, very easy. Check out Fodera. Check out everything they have to offer. Great working with them. Check out the other videos if you want to see some Fodera stuff in action. Otherwise, hopefully I'll get some more recorded with this soon. That's it. Thanks for sticking around.